SPSS users often want to know how they can combine variables together. Now, combining variables can refer to many different things, but in this example we're going to look at two procedures. One is the compute that allows us to calculate the mean of a number of variables to create one combined variable, and the other is to count the values that occur across a series of variables in order to create an overall count or combined variable from that. Let's have a look at how we do that. So to demonstrate how to combine variables together, we've got a simple data set here comprised of 7 rating scales, and these rating scales are asking people to evaluate their various aspects of a service. In this case happens to be a ferry service, where a score of 1 indicates they thought it was excellent, that aspect was excellent, and a score of 4 indicates they thought it was poor. And that means that it's fairly straightforward for us to combine these together because they're all measured in the same units, and that enables us to, for example, calculate an overall average score. So to do that, we can go to the transform compute variable procedure, and we can create a new variable. We can ask it to create a target variable called mean rating. I'm going to call it mean rating 1, and I'll give it a label. I'll just call it average rating score, and then all I got to do is add all of the variables up just using plus symbol here. There are faster ways for me to do it, but I'm just going to do it manually here. It's a good idea to put parentheses around these, of course, put brackets around it, and use the divide by symbol and divide by 7 and click OK at that point. It jumps to the output window, we return to the data window, and what we should find is if we look along to the last field in the data window, we've got this new variable being created for us called mean rating. However, unfortunately it hasn't created a mean rating score for every case, and that's because if any case has a missing value, so for example here people have ticked don't know, so it's a missing value, it's not included in the calculation, it means that it can't calculate an average score for it. So for this case we'd need to divide by 6 or divide by the number of valid values that are in there, and that's somewhat awkward. So instead what we can do is go back to transform compute and hit actually we don't need to hit reset, we can just delete this out. Let's just change this to mean rating 2, and instead we can use a function that will help us get around this. So if we use a statistical function such as the mean function here, and in fact what you can do is you don't actually have to list out all of the variable names. You can simply say value for money, from value for money effectively to the variable journey time. It will calculate the mean for you much quicker, and it uses only the valid values. So here it's dividing by 6, here it's dividing by 6 again. So you can see that even if you have in the list of 7 fields 1 or 2 or 3 or however many invalid values or missing values, it will actually use the valid values to calculate the overall mean score. So that's important to know about. What happens if we just wanted to find out how many times an individual ticked excellent or ticked good or something like that? Well, that's another way of creating a combined variable, and this time we'd go to transform, not compute variable, but count values within cases. So it's a different procedure. Let me just hit reset here. So if I create this new procedure, I'm going to create a new field, and I'm going to call this field excellent count, and we'll give it a label. We'll call it number of times excellent chosen to evaluate that aspect of the ferry service. So we send in all of our rating scores again, all of our rating variables. We need to remember what the score is for excellent, which is score of 1. We hit define variable, define values here, and we tell it which values or value we wish to count. We say we'll wish to count just the values that are equal to 1, because that means that they ticked excellent. 1 means excellent. We click OK at that point, And obviously if they get a score of 7, that means that they ticked excellent for every aspect of that service, and if they have a score of 0, it means they never ticked excellent for any aspect of the service. So you have a score 6 and a score 0 appropriately. And that's another way for us to combine all of these different variables together.